Shima here. Hope you all are well. So we are gonna go ahead with part two. Today we're gonna express emotion number two, but a quick little recap of class one. So in the first class, we understood that weather plays an important role if you want to do any sort of a creative writing in the beginning, if you're stuck with it. So for sun, we had fireball or we had ball of fire. What the sun does basically is it shines. So we did different words for shines, gleams, glistens, dazzles, beams. Then we spoke about the clouds. And we also spoke about the birds. So the clouds were described as fluffy and puffy. They can either decorate the sky or they can hang like a picture in the sky. The birds, they chirp, so they can chirp merrily or sonorously, or we can say bird song hung in the air. These were the different ways we spoke about the weather. We also did a lot of words for big. Then we went ahead with describing our emotions. The first emotion, the only emotion we worked on was for happy and excited. You learn different words for happy and how you express happiness. And we learned two words for excited and how we express being excited. So just walking down the memory lane. So for happy, we had done delighted, elated, jocund, gleeful, exhilarated, and we had also done the expressions. To jump with happiness is leaped with joy or glee or merriment. To shout with happiness is squealed in delight. To smile is either grin or grin from ear to ear, or grin like a Cheshire cat, flashing a row of glistening teeth which were as white as milk or pearls. And if somebody is really excited, it could be thrilled to bits. Excited jumping line would be leaped or jumped up and down like a kangaroo. You can even make it a bunny. Buzzing with excitement is when you're feeling really excited, and waves of enthusiasm rolled over me or him or her is also another expression of feeling excited. Now, after this, we move on to our next expression, which is basically sadness. Yes, kids. We're happy probably in the beginning of an activity, but whenever a story encounters a problem, that problem is what will make you sad. So, there are different images again I have put up so that you can see how these images work to express sadness. Oh, look at him. Okay, so first we focus with this. This is a smile. This becomes a frown. So the first thing when you're sad is you frown like her. See, your lips are twitching downwards. So again, in just basic words, I can say he or she frowned, or maybe I can say a frown decorated his or her face, or I can say that her grin transformed into a frown. Transformed means from a smiley face, we have a sad face. So these are three ways in which we can describe a frown. It's the first step of feeling sad. And then, of course, comes our tears. So that is why we had this video over here. Play again. I'll pause it. Now here, can you see this? This is when tears are forming in your eyes. So we call it tears welled up. To well up in your eyes, that means the tears have formed in your eyes. They haven't fallen. And then after that, they fall. Here. So we can combine this. Tears will well up in your eyes and then they will flow down. If you're crying a lot, then you'll have a lot of tears flowing down. So we can say flow down like a waterfall. It's as if there's a waterfall pouring out from your eyes. So we can describe a person by using something for frown and then combining it with the tears welling up and then flowing down. That'll be a fun way to describe somebody who's feeling sad. Also, class, when you really try to control your urge to cry, There's a lump that forms in your throat. It forms when you're trying very hard not to cry and you're controlling your emotions, but when you can know, so that control is where a lump forms in your throat. His or her throat. These are different elements we can use when expressing sadness. We also have this. Uh, when you walk away with your head hung low, your head hung with disappointment. Let's play it again. We didn't see it in the first time. See? Pause it. His head is low. You're feeling sad, so your head goes down because you're happy about something that's happened. So how can we express sadness? Let's open our worksheet for today, which again I would want you to write. So this was our recap sheet, and then going down we have sadness. Okay. Now these are the different words we can learn for sad. Dejected, gloomy, glum, crestfallen, depressed. So we stop using the word sad. We first use the emotion and then we will choose an expression. Always remember emotion and then expression. So there are many expressions for sadness. So let's see how we are describing sad. First is the frown. So three different ways. He or she frowned, very basic. So if I write sad face, you can give me any one version. A frown decorated his or her face. Her grin transformed into a frown. Okay. The second step would be, see his head. If head sad line, if I say that, you can say he or she hung his or her head in disappointment. That means you upset, so you put your head down, you're walking away. And heart, when you're really sad, you get a pain in your heart. Okay, so for that, we could say heart sank like the Titanic. Yes, how Titanic sinks, I'm comparing my heart to that. You feel very low, there's a pain in your heart. So if you're really sad, we can even say heart sank like the Titanic. Okay, and now we come to tears. This is the last part. Okay, so first is when you avoid, you don't want to cry, so you control your feeling. We say felt a lump in his or her throat. Okay, but when you actually cry, you can say sob or weep are better words for cry. But if I say sob or weep like a baby, it means you cry like a baby. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate this. Yes, I'll write cry here. I'll put a dash and I'll remove it from here. Okay. Okay. So now what we can do is, if the tears start forming in your eyes, then tears are salty. So I've added salty tears welled up in his or her eyes. So see, their tears still, they're welling up in her eyes, and then she starts crying. And then when they well up and they fall, I can say tears flowed down like a waterfall. So basically, this happens first, this happens second, this happens third, then you start crying very hard, and then your eyes become puffy and as red as beetroot. When you cry a lot, your eyes become swollen, little big in size, and they become very red. So what I'm going to do is I will put this in the correct order. Now of course I've given you different ways of how we can express the emotion crying, but here again, it's not necessary you use all, but you can use them to your best efficient manner to really describe how your character is feeling. Like, see, tears have welled up in her eyes, then they are flowing like a waterfall. Then she might sob or weep like a baby, and then after some time, her eyes will become puffy and as red as beetroot, as red as an apple, as red as cherries, whatever you feel like. Now, since we've learned about sad today, let's see how we can put sad as an emotion in your creative writing. So look, I've given you two pictures and I'm picking up everything from the pictures. The boy is really happy, he's playing with his toy cars, and then he's sad because his toy car broke. I'm sorry, I didn't get the same image of the boy. That's why, I mean, you can see they're two different boys, but we are making one story out of it. So, weather, emotions, and expressions. My sunny day weather, of course, in the beginning he's happy and excited because he's got a chance to play. So we're going to use that and express it. And in the end, he's sad. So we're going to use that and express it. So see how we are doing this over here. Okay, so the first thing is about the sunny day. This is first paragraph. Look, I'm actually making a longer story this time. The ginormous ball of fire was gleaming in the enormous sky. This is a way to say the sun was shining. Its golden rays illuminated everything like a lamp. So basically, these first two sentences are a way to say that the sun was shining and lightning line. So it's lightening up everything. Fluffy clouds were hanging in the blue sky. This is a way to say that the clouds were in the sky. While the flock of birds chirped merrily and sonorously, that means birds were chirping. So now let's come to the boy, the action, boy and his cars. Alfred, you can change the name of the boy, was jocund, means happy, as he had a holiday. He was thrilled to bits, its excited line, as he had time to play with his glorious, his lovely toy cars. One was as red as a cherry, that's red simile, and the other was as blue as the sea, that's blue simile. In the picture, there were two cars with two different colors, so I used that to describe the cars to add more information. See, red and blue. Now going further. After the blue simile, we have after breakfast, he squealed with delight. That means he shouted happily. And waves of enthusiasm rolled over him. That means excited line. As he removed his new cars and played with them, grinning from ear to ear. So he was obviously happy while he was playing with it. So I'm describing his emotions. Now the sad part. So another word. Unfortunately means sadly or unluckily. His grin transformed into a frown. That means his smile became a sad line. We just learned this one. As he banged the cars hard and their wheels came off. Alfred's heart sank like the Titanic. It's the hard, sad line. He felt really sad. Salty tears welled up in his eyes and flowed down like a waterfall. That means tears start falling. He was dejected, means sad, as those were his favorite toys. He sobbed like a baby till his eyes were red and puffy. Now, remember we use puffy for the clouds? So, puffy means swollen. Okay, so I've not used the simile here, but instead of I've used red and puffy, but if you want to use a simile, you can. His parents promised to purchase new cars for him, so Alfred became elated, is happy, and leaped with merriment. That means jumped with happiness. So here I have used my first class's weather, the happy expressions and emotions, and today's sad expressions and emotions for you. So again, I would really want you not to take this print out, but to really write this paragraph in your book, including the sad points, kids, because writing will really enable you to use all of them. Otherwise it's just going to fly away from your memory like a bird. And we're going to do the dictionary assignment for this in your book as we had done in the first class. But if you still want another recap, let's show you. Oops. I'm taking it on a new page. Yep. Too bright. Okay. So again, we have the dictionary. It's going to be bracket word and new word. Okay, so in the bracket word, I want us to, now we have two lines for the sun is shining and lightning line. So you can break it into one if you want. Sun shining over here is the ginormous ball of fire was gleaming in the enormous sky. Okay, and then I can say lightening up would be Its golden rays illuminated everything like a lamp. Kids, dictionary will help you to keep remembering these words. You can't mug creative writing. You cannot sit and by heart all of this. When we do this as a practice, it gets registered in our mind and then it becomes easier for us to play around with these words. So this is what you're going to do, and then will come your homework part. Again, we have an assignment based on this, which I will be uploading in terms of PDF and the video, the Microsoft form both. So here it's based on 1 and 2. So you will again be rewriting this paragraph by changing the underlined words with better vocabulary as shown before. Okay, so this is based on your whether you're happy and your excited emotions. And then after the first 5 para, we have your OMO, where you're going to write a story on your own. So it's a very nice story class over here. Let's discuss the points so you can go about writing. You would begin again with the weather description, sun, clouds, birds, your choice. You want to pick any one, any two, it's up to you. You will give a name to the character, like I'm giving the name Jake. You can change the name, and we're starting off with, we can say Jake was exhilarated and enthusiastic. It's written excited phrase line, so I can change it. I can say Jake was elated and waves of enthusiasm rolled over him, or he was buzzing with excitement as there was a science fair in his youth school and all children were merrily setting projects. Jake, you can use the line and phrase. I don't want to discuss each and every word, so go point by point and create sentences out of it. So basically he's really happy and he set up the system, and then the judges come. They are admiring all the students' projects, all right. But if I scroll lower, what happens is that they reach Jake's stall. So unluckily will be unfortunately what you will pick up in the dictionary of the first paragraph. And a cat. Now color assembly. Look, I mean, it's you can give your own color. You can say that, a cat who was as brown as chocolate with fluffy fur, another word for jumped, so changed it. So she leaps over Jake's table, and of course the project falls, it gets ruined or it's broken, and then you can keep following these sad expressions and create your own write-up. The only thing here is that the judges for kind have given you another word, gracious, or had a heart of gold. So you can say that the judges were gracious, or I can say the judges had a heart of gold. It doesn't mean that their heart is made of gold. It's just a way in English to say that they were really, really kind. So this way you can make the story to me at kohli_ashima@hotmail.com, and I'm going to read it and give you feedback for the same. I hope you enjoyed the second session as well. So please continue to write. You can even use these words, what we have learned, and create something of your own and send it across. I will definitely love to read and provide feedback for the same. Please take care and stay safe. Thank you. Bye, kids.